Hi guys, it's Jeremy from World Possible. We're going to do a quick install of Rachel Shamba on an Android device. What I've got here is a 4-inch Android tablet designed for children. It's about $30. It powers via micro USB. And then I've got a micro SD card here. And if I can get that to focus, you'll see it's just a 4 gigabyte micro SD card. The Rachel Shamba package is about 3 gigabytes. And so what I've done is I've got here on my desktop up in this corner, I've already downloaded Rachel Shamba zip file. And so you've either gotten that through downloading via Dropbox or downloading via BitTorrent Sync or our FTP site. And so I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to extract all. And this came over here. So it's going to ask me where I want to extract it to. I'm going to, first I need to put in the micro SD card into a card reader and then plug it into my computer. So I'm going to do that real quick. Right now you can tell I don't have any micro SD card in there, anything that's 4 gigabytes. So I have now plugged in my micro SD card. You'll see it's removable disk G. And now I'm back to where do I want to extract the files. I'm going to browse. Whereas this PC, and there's removable disk G, and I'm going to extract. So that'll take, about 10-15 minutes at most, and that's on a pretty old machine. It's this process down here. There's some other work going on, but this process down here, it says about 20 minutes, so it should be a little less than that. I'll check back in. It's currently 5:17, so I will check back in and see how long this takes. Okay, it actually took us quite a bit longer. It's 6:05 p.m., so it took about 35-40 minutes. I promise you we are using the slowest and most out-of-date hardware we can find in order to test this, so if yours is taking longer than that, I would certainly think something wrong is going on. So I'm going to just eject my micro SD, and then I'm coming over here to my Android tablet, which I will try and get to a better viewpoint for you. So we've got the micro SD card here. These can be a real challenge to push in, so you're probably going to want like a pen or something to help with that. Let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll check back in. So I've pushed in the micro SD card, putting in my super secret password. And usually when you put that in, you'll see this notice that the SD card is mounted. And so clicking that doesn't do a whole lot. So you're going to want to go into your normal apps, and then there's something either called Explorer or File Manager. And I'm going to click that, and here it's already kind of put me on the external SD card. You'll see this is like internal over here, and we need to be in the external. And then I'm going to find Rachel Shamba, and then I'm going to find the Android supplement, and here's the app. So the first thing we're going to do is install the actual app. And so I'm clicking that, and it may tell you that this is an unauthorized app and you have to allow installations from other sources. That's pretty easy to do if you just follow the links. So I'm going to click next and install. And this will take a couple minutes here just because we are working on a pretty slow and older device. I'll check back in when it's done. Okay, that actually took about seconds. So the app's installed. I'm going to go ahead and open it. And now I need to install some core applications to work with it. This won't take too long either, hopefully, if you're using a decent tablet and decent SD card, but I'll again check back in. Okay, so it's only been about a minute, and that has finished installing. This is the Rachel app if you haven't ever seen it before, and this is what it looks like before anything happens. So there's a couple things we need to do to prepare the app, and they're both here at the bottom. The first thing we need to do is set the content folder. And so you'll get something like this. It's either called SD card 2 or external SD card. Sometimes you have to go up and find something called MNT and then find your SD card. It's different for each card and each device. I'm going back to Rachel Shamba. And now here you're actually going to use the Windows package. We only put the content in here once. So I clicked in the Windows, I clicked in this www, and then I just clicked choose. And so you'll see the web root directory is now put inside where we just clicked. So the second thing we need to do is actually copy these database files, which are Android specific. So I'm going to go to SD card 2, Rachel Shamba, and then the Android supplement, and then this spider.zip. I'll go ahead and choose that, and then it'll ask me to copy the files. And so this will take not too long here on this package. If you're using the bigger Rachel, not just Shamba, it'll take quite some time. So I'll check back in as soon as we're done. So we've got the database installed, and now I'll take you through a little bit about the actual app. You'll see the web server is stopped. Whenever you're in doubt, go ahead and just restart it by stopping and starting it. That'll fix pretty much any problem you've got. There are some settings you may want to configure up in the top here. The first of these is locking the Wi-Fi, and that'll allow people to always connect to you. Keeping the screen always on will keep the server running. And then if you're going to use this as a dedicated Rachel serving device, you can start the web server on boot, and you can start it on startup as well as it's startup of the app. The other stuff you can leave alone unless you really know what you're doing. So there are 3 ways to functionally use the app. One is to look at the content. First, make sure your web server is running. To look at the content on your actual device here. So localhost is the actual device that's running the content. And you'll see here you're at the Rachel Shamba page, and you can zoom in kind of nicely. You've got all of the organic farmer. You've got some of the other resources that we've put together on Infonet, and it's all just kind of nicely laid out in here. Practical action. We're hoping people can help us curate that. There's also the new upload content and local content functions. Local content is just a little directory of things that I've already uploaded. You can add stuff there either through 2 methods, and they're both kind of outlined here. One is just getting the SD card and actually dragging content into that folder, and the other is choosing a file on your device and pressing the upload button. So that's just using Rachel on your personal tablet, which obviously doesn't display perfectly here on this 4-inch little screen. The next thing you can do is create a Wi-Fi access point. And so right now it's closed. You click open, and a couple of things will happen. First is that your Wi-Fi will get turned on. You will be creating a network, and that network will be called Rachel, and there'll be no password required for other people to log in. And when someone else logs in, they will put this address in their web browser, and they will also be able to access your Rachel content. So if you're out working with people in the field and you want them to be able to do some research, you can turn on Rachel here. You can have them connect to the Rachel Wi-Fi hotspot, and they can push in this address, and they can upload content which would get stored on your machine for everyone else to see, or they can do their research right there at that web address. So all the information is right there for you. The other way that you can do this is not as a Wi-Fi access point on its own, but if you're connected to a home network, you can go ahead and do the same kind of functionality. So I'm going to connect to my home network just so you guys see what that looks like. And so that's Wi-Fi. And oops, there's the world possible. I will punch in a password. I need 2 hands and I'll check back.